Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am showing you the coolest palette I have ever found. Now this has actually been around for a while and it's been here sitting in my art studio storage for a few months, but I wanted to share it with you guys because I am going to be using it to create my studio palette. So check it out. I mean, I'm not a fan of the red color, but whatever. I'll leave a link in the description below as well, because it does seem to change brand names quite often. But look at this. It is the only palette I've seen that has spaces for tube paints and then spaces for your pans. And the reason I like this is because, well, for one, my most used palette is my custom made Roman Schmal paint palette here. Now these are full pans, so I love Roman Schmal, but there's sometimes I like to break out like a Daniel Smith color that I have in a tube, and I don't want to have a bunch of different palettes around. But as you can see, my Roman Schmal palette is full when I have all these full pans in here. But this one here, I can take all my Roman Schmal paints and pop them right in there and then still add my tube colors. Now, will that make like the world's largest palette? Yeah, but the one thing I thought would be extra cool is this bottom row here, or perhaps the top, one of the rows, I am going to use for seasonal change out colors, because there's often colors I don't use until specific seasons, or sometimes I'm in the mood to throw in a freaking glitter paint, okay? So it would be nice to have the ability to toss those in half pans, throw them in here, or say I'm on like a super granulating kick. I can take some of my Schminke super granulating paints, throw them in here, and whatnot. Of course, you know, I can fill up these with the tube paints and say I change my mind later. It's easy to clean out a palette. But this allows me to put all my Roman Schmal full pans in here and tube paints, because there's a few colors from Daniel Smith, Winsor and Newton, and Magello Mission Gold that I absolutely love, and I would love to have them in my palette and not a separate one. So I will be building this out, and I'll do another video showing you my palette tour. But also check out this monster mixing area. That's a lot of space. So one thing I wanted to also show real quick, the half pans do slide around, so you'd probably want to put some double-sided sticky tape on them. Ugh, I have nails. This does pop out. So if you want this out, that's all the pans go, you can pop this out and use this as just a mixing well down here, or leave it in. So it's optional to have those in there, so you can double your mixing space, although this is plenty right here. And then the other thing I like, it's kind of a pro and a con though, is that this is plastic. The pro being rust, because like these palettes here, you know, you spritz, you spray, you're using water, it is watercolor. So eventually you get rust. I already have actually some rust forming right here. So these can rust out. Plastic doesn't rust, so you have that. Now for cons, the plastic can get brittle over time. If you press too hard, obviously it's not going to have the durability of the metal ones, so you could snap the plastic. And then of course plastic does stain. However, most of the palettes out there have like plastic wells anyways. In fact, I have another one right here. I have a lot of empty palettes, by the way, because I've been on the hunt for palettes. I actually really like this one. It is huge, but it has all these little spots for your paint, mixing, and then this monster mixing area. But this is plastic as well. I do have the Magello bulletproof one. So, I mean, you may have some staining depending on what material or what kind of plastic it is, but that's kind of like, I don't care, because I mean, your palette gets messy no matter what. I mean, look at my palette here. It's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be looking like you use it. You spent the money on the paint. So I just wanted to share this cool little palette with you. Most who have been in watercolor probably seen this palette before, but maybe not. There is an artist on YouTube by the name of Arit. She had one exactly like this in her store. However, I can't find the link to her store anymore, so I don't know if she took it down. So I do see this on Amazon, so I'm leaving the link in the description below to the one I have from Amazon. And if I do find her store link again, and it's still available through her, I will link that when I can. Oh, and I forgot to mention this little part here pops out too. So technically you can double your mixing space, or mix on here and then go rinse this off and pop it back in, and it doesn't fall out like the other one. So yeah, just a nifty little find that I wanted to share. So until next time, take care. Bye now.